Dear Hannah, I know when you first met me that you famously weren't too fond of me. But what's funny is I'm not sure how much I liked myself, or even knew what the deeper parts of me were. So in a way, you saw deeper, as you always do. I had no idea that our little Bible study in Spencer's would start off a chain of events leading to our marriage and some of the closest friends I will ever have. We lifted one another up and delved into what was on our hearts. We all shared the same heart song to dive deeper beyond the superficial.
Kevin's the most kind-hearted, loving. If anybody knows him real good, he would give you the shirt off his back, even if it was today and he just ended up in suspenders and his tie.
And I see this big, tall, lanky guy come in. So this is Kevin Phillips. I said, well, hey, Kevin. I said, where'd you go to school? University of Alabama. You know, Roll Tide is just not in my vocabulary. I said, okay. So I'm going to tell y'all, never say never.
I think the thing that intrigued me the most about Hannah was I loved her boldness and I loved her love for the Lord, and I was like, we're going to be friends. So.
Kevin, coming into this relationship, I knew that our friendship was something special, that you were a true man of God, and that you were deeply attractive. However, I was skeptical. I didn't want to get hurt. But since day one, you have never ceased to continuously prove me wrong. You have shown me what love really looks like. It wasn't too long before I realized that a life lived with you could and would be a life full of happiness, support, and unconditional love.
What really got me about Kevin is his love for Jesus and how much that he cared for my daughter. And I said, what else could I ask for?
You have a special lady right there beside you, and I'm super duper excited for y'all. You have truly become a brother to me, Kevin, and you've helped me grow spiritually in many ways.
But they started spending more time alone together. And she walks in the lab and she goes, I think I have feelings for Kevin, but I don't think I want to, so I'm going to suppress them. And I said, okay. And she goes, how's that? And I was like, I don't think you should, but you do what you want to do.
Before I even knew that you existed, God told me that you were coming. God told me to sit back, watch, and wait, because he was about to do something big, and he did.
And then a few days later, Kevin told her how he felt about her. And I get 3 separate text messages, come over now. And I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, Kevin told me he liked me. And I said, considering what you told me the other day, I really don't see how that's an issue, because I think you like him too. It's just one date. And that date turned into a happy ever after, and so I'm very thankful to be here tonight.
The Lord never used the term covenant lightly, and I dare not use this term lightly now. These vows I will carry with me in times when my emotions are fleeting, when my heart is dull. These promises of future love will free us to be open and vulnerable to one another, not fearing a lack of acceptance or grace.
I, Hannah, choose you, Kevin, to be no one other than yourself, loving what I know of you now, and trusting what I do not yet know. I vow to choose you every day and to be faithful to you, to give you honest truth even when you don't want to hear it, and to give you grace when I consider it the hardest.
Hannah, all that I am and yet to be, all that I have and yet to have, is now shared with you for better or worse.
You've really redefined my definition of friendship, and I appreciate you being there, and your boldness and your brutal honesty and your sweet spirit.
Not a shadow of a doubt in my mind that you're not going to follow Jesus Christ each and every step of the way.
I feel so blessed to have met you, Kevin. I was always nervous about becoming a wife, but after loving you, I couldn't picture myself as anyone but your wife.
You speak to my struggles, and I speak to yours. And as your husband, I want to be that man. I know I'll never do that perfectly, but the Lord's grace has never stopped pouring out on us. I'm ready for this profound mystery to be revealed to us day by day.
Oh, don't you look pretty? Don't you look pretty? Oh my goodness, honey, you look fine. Got your game face on, you ready?
I do.
All right. Oh my goodness.
You're already tearing up.
It's just it's surreal, isn't it?
Yes. Just enjoy it, and I can see you already are.
Yeah. Just,
Taking it very seriously.
yeah, I'm sure Hannah is too.
He was a tall, awkward, real long. He loves the color red. A little bit too much because shorts, shirt, sandals. He wore his Alabama flip-flops everywhere. And I'm surprised he's not wearing them tonight.
And I met Hannah on our orientation day school. She was sitting behind me and she had on these bright yellow shoes. And I turned around and I looked at her and I said, "Oh my goodness, I love your shoes." And she goes, "Thanks." Later on, after me and Hannah were closer, she was like, "Can I tell you what I thought about you?" And I said, "Yeah, what'd you think?" And she goes, "You stood up." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this girl is so bubbly, I'm going to hate her." And I was like, okay.
It was Hannah's in their senior year. The game was tight. Well, instead of just bumping her, she pushed her. And I heard a rifle shot, and it was her ACL. So after 2 surgeries, Hannah decided, you know, Daddy, I think that's just what I want to do. I think I want to go on to go to PT school.
Even after that first encounter that we would be friends, but we had Bible study, and we were the only 2 from our class that showed up. And so I targeted her. I was like, "Oh, we're going to keep her. She loves Jesus. This is a hard program. Nobody knows anyone. Like, I'm going to keep her."
You know, Hannah made up her mind to go to Western Kentucky with about 15 minutes left in the deadline to make up her mind. I said, if they offer you a spot, you take it. All righty? Daddy, I won't make any friends. Well, looky here. Look at this. And she went on to PT school, and her mother and I are very, very, very proud of her. Very proud of both of them, too.
Kevan, I have only known you for a few short years, but as soon as you walked into Nana's to meet everyone for the first time, and you were ready to throw down on endless bagel bites, brownies, squash, okra, rolls, ham bone, biscuits, side of pancakes, and more bagel bites for dessert, I knew you were going to go make it to the family, bro. So, seriously, I could see that grin on Hannah that she had around you, and I knew it couldn't be from Nana's chest squares, so let's just be honest now.
Hannah's power foods. She gets on these kicks and she just eats that one food and it just gives her strength. And we were in our first semester and she was eating honey buns like they were going out of style. And so she walks out, she goes to get a honey bun, and she comes back holding a honey bun with blood dripping down her arm. And I said, "Hannah, what happened?" She goes, "My honey bun got stuck in the vending machine and I had to have it." I was like, oh my gosh, she just like pouring blood. And I was like, okay.
If I had any advice for you, Kevan, it would be to remember that your wife will seriously be right about 90% of the time, and the 10% she is not right, evacuate the area immediately. And Hannah, if I had any advice for you, it would be to just let Kevan get out all of his wrong opinions before you throw the cast iron skillet towards him.
You'll always be my little sweet milk, no matter what you do or how old you get. Put Jesus first in your marriage and grow towards Him, and you'll be fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, to the bride and groom.
And always remember, therefore, what God has joined together, let no man separate. Love you both so much. Stay juicy. Cheer, cheer.
You know, I'm just so happy for you two, and just to watch them grow and really dig their roots down into a firm foundation in Jesus and the Bible study, and everything flourished, and it's so happy to see where you are now, and we're just so happy for you guys.
And you told me one night, told me you felt like the Lord was telling you that you were going to marry a warrior, someone who fought for your faith and someone who fought for their friends and who fought for you. And congratulations, you found him. And Kevin's going to fight for you and fight for Jesus. So do big things. I love you.
To Hannah and Kevin.